Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I'm here to talk to you guys today about time management. What are my qualifications? Well, I have bought a house at 25 and I'm talking right now at 7 o'clock in the morning when I already work a 9 to 5. And yeah, these are just my tips and way of thinking to hopefully help you get what you want out of life. To me, time management is more about life management because I see a lot of videos online about time management when you're like running a business or working in a corporate job. And to me, that doesn't really help me because I'm not trying to schedule meetings all day. I'm just trying to get to and from my 9 to 5 and find time to do things I actually want to do. So these are my life management tips to hopefully do exactly that. I guess I'll just go through the list of things I did to make my life easier based on what I found to be a problem in my life. For me, there's 3 basic things, and I feel like movies and books and tropes talk about these issues a lot as well. So it's 1, finances. Finances can end marriages. We know that one. Okay, and then there's, what are we going to eat tonight? What are we going to eat tonight? But then that actually causes like problems and stress because you shouldn't have to think every single day after you work. You come home and you're like, what are we having for dinner? Especially in today's age where there's probably not a stay-at-home spouse. So we got to figure out how to make that super easy and not a constant question. And you save a little money if you know what you're going to eat tonight instead of DoorDash when you're at your most vulnerable. And then 3rd, and the final like little point is, oh my God, we forgot this event. Where are we going? What are we doing this weekend? We had this thing to go to, but I forgot about it. Events and notifications, especially between partners. I don't know why it took me so long to find a calendar app that I really liked, but we can start with that one. So I highly recommend getting on the train of a calendar app instead of a journal. Now, you can journal your personal, whatever, things you want to do for your personal life, but when it comes to grabbing a family and making sure everybody's on the same page in today's day and age, I find the family wall app has helped me a lot. Forgive me, I did not like Google Calendar and I don't like it in general. Tried to use it for so long and I just never enjoyed it. It wasn't cute to me. I'm sure there's ways. Use your Google Calendar if you like it. But for me, this family wall app, please sponsor me, has actually helped me so much. 1, you can color coordinate your events and it looks really cute. You can add pictures to your events or screenshots of information. You can add address and such to your events, and kind of circles into another one. You can put your groceries, all of your recipes into this app as well. So if you're at the grocery store, you have an app with all of the recipes you like to make and all their ingredients in your pocket, which is very helpful for us. But I'll get into that in a little bit. So yes, this family wall app, on top of all that, it is seamless to add people to your calendar. So my husband can also, if he's out doing work and the work friends say, hey, are you free on Saturday? We're having this little party. And he's like, oh, sure. Because he can't see my journal at home to say, oh, no, we had this event planned. And you can't remember everything off the top of your head. It's just not possible. So instead, he can just pull up an app on his phone, see that we have an event or we don't have an event, and say yes or no, which is, you think, is just commonplace for the Google Calendar or whatever. But I don't know, this family wall app really helps. And it's not easy getting a family, especially if you have kids, all together on the same page. There's so many events and so many things. So With this app, everybody has the same amount of access and privilege to just add this event with all the information and details, so everybody can be on the same page and everybody's like out and about in the world. They don't have to come back to mom or the wife and say, oh yeah, add this to the calendar. Not necessary anymore. Everybody can add their own stuff and everybody can be all on the same page. It is life-changing. It has really been life-changing for me. We barely miss any events anymore, and we can prioritize things that we want to go to, and we're always on the same page about what we have planned. Get on top of your calendar. Putting in events as they come and not just, oh yeah, trying to remember, which is very helpful with this app because not only is it an app on your phone, but it also doubles as a desktop space. So if you're at your office, at work, at home office, your phone's away, or one of your family members is also like away from their phone, they can also access this on a desktop and their mobile device. So it's very versatile in that. If you've been trying a calendar app and it has not been working for you, you can try a different one. I did mention something else that's great about this family wall app is that it has a grocery recipe list. Not everything is free on this app, but they don't sponsor me. So far, the free version has worked for me perfectly fine. The actual recipes box, which we use to list out all of our favorite things to cook and all the ingredients it needs. So now we're at groceries. Okay, remember, we don't need to go through life struggling every day thinking, what are we going to eat? What are we going to eat for lunch at work tomorrow? What are we doing with our lives? Why don't we just order DoorDash for $70 and now we are out of $1,000 in a month on takeout that sometimes isn't even that good, which is so sad. So what can we do? Well, here is what we did. Firstly, we did use HelloFresh for a little bit. We essentially used a discount code that had a really big discount, and it stretched okay, for the first box you get this much off, second box you get this much off, and it went on for so many weeks until it was finally again full price. So we went through it with the intention to try out recipes that we think we would like, see if we like cooking them, and then steal the recipe, which they don't mind. I think you can even find the recipe online. And so, yes, we just used HelloFresh for the discount while we practiced and tried out recipes. Now, of course, we are in our early 20s back then, and we had a few things we liked to cook, but we didn't have a robust. It was still where we had 4 or 5 things we maybe like to cook. And if it's not a few weeks worth of different recipes, you're going to get tired, you're going to get bored, and you're going to end up ordering food and losing money. So we wanted to add to our repertoire, our catalog of options. That was a good thing for us to do. Financially, we could afford it. We only used it through the discount, and we were able to find some more recipes that we liked to cook. Of course, they send you the food. You don't have to grocery shop for it. I would say that you could also do this on your own. Instagram, Pinterest, they all have many different recipes on there to try, and the algorithm can really push toward things that you would probably like more. That was something we did. It worked for us. I don't necessarily recommend HelloFresh. If you can't afford it, I will get into more money saving tips in another video, so please stay tuned. You always have to eat, so how do you make that easier? Well, I was working nights, and poor Greg, he was cooking so much. Even on top of the HelloFresh and stuff, he was just cooking for us all the time because I was sleeping all day. Because night shift is hard. just in case you guys didn't know. Night shift is actually quite hard. But we were talking and he said, look, I can't, it's hard to cook all the meals. And I'm like, yeah, shoot, what can I do that is simple for me to do? Because I'm working all night, but I can still contribute and have like a full meal without too much work. When I thought of a crock pot, okay, now we're vegetarian, so our meals in the crock pot are a little different than what you might assume is the classic, like chicken or whatever. But you could do that if you don't mind eating meat. But yeah, so if you use a crock pot, essentially what you could do, and what I did, because I worked such a weird shift, was essentially I would come home from working all night. So it's the morning. I put the food in the crock pot. I found 8-hour-long low temperature crock pot recipes all over the internet. Found a couple that we still eat to this day that we enjoy, and found appetizing: chili, soup, different kinds of soups. Jackfruit recipe actually is one of them, which is like a vegetarian pulled pork sandwich sloppy joe thing. And we just put everything in the crock pot, turn it on, go to sleep. It's done when I wake up. Plate it, go. Done. Highly recommend Instapot, Crock-Pot, something that makes cooking easy for you. That way, hey, even if you both work 9 to 5, you just set it, go to work, come back, food's done. You don't have to stand at the stove for 40 minutes when you get home from work that way. We have a couple of crock-pot meals a week now, and it makes everything really easy on both of us still, even though I don't work nights anymore. So I highly recommend that. Now, something else we do is we double up our recipes. It's just the two of us. So, this might be a little bit more difficult for family with children. However, for at least the adults in the house, this might still work very well. Also, what are we going to have for lunch at work? What causes you to burn your money at work? You're going to the cafeteria and you're buying like $20 worth of crappy food that doesn't even taste that good when you could have just had leftovers. Okay, so we have done this consistently for years. Now, some people will say you could just batch all of your meals on Sunday, let's say, make all of your lunches for the week and just take those, and that's still easy. That's great. You could do that. We like having a little more variety than that. To each their own. But if you're like, well, there's nothing I can do because I like variety and I don't want to batch all my meals on Sunday, well, here I have the solution. So we make 4 meals worth of each dinner that we make, so that the other 2 portions are our lunches for the next day. So when we're plating up our food, we plate our lunches as well, and into the refrigerator it goes, and we take it to work the next day. Done. So we still have something different every day, but we're not out actually at the store buying stuff for lunches in particular. Now you can also, throw a little chip in there, a little applesauce, I don't know, but it has been game changing. One other thing we don't have to think about. One thing, we're not spending making a separate lunch at a separate time. It's all done in one go. We save time. That's what I'm trying to do with this video, is just let you guys know how we've been saving so much time, to where I had the time to start this YouTube channel. I have the time to, work out now. Like, I never used to work out. Yeah, general grocery shopping tip for your life. Okay. No one really teaches us how to shop for groceries. Maybe you're with your mom in the store and she has a list, but how do you know where she got that list from? How do you make the list? So here's what we do instead of, well, I don't know. I don't really know. We've been doing this so long, I don't really know how else it's done. So let me go. We take a sit down on Sunday or Saturday. We sit down together. The adults in the house could sit down together. The whole family could sit down together. Or the couple could sit down together. So we sit down together and we say, what do we want to eat this week? Take out our phone with the good old Family Wall app, and we look through our recipe box list, which we have put in every single recipe, food item that we've ever made that we enjoy to keep making. And we're saying, okay, what looks good? That's our menu. That is our grocery menu. And we pick out 6 or 7 of those for the week ahead. Write down all the ingredients that we would need. Check the fridge. We got the sauce, stuff that we don't have to buy each time. We're like, we got the onion powder, garlic powder, or spices, everything. Do we need a re-up on our olive oil? We do a check. And then, we take off anything that makes sauce that we already had, spice we don't need any more of. And now we have our actual grocery list. And that's it. That's our whole grocery list. That's how we get it. We make our own menu. Look through it. We have all the information we need already in the app. No, it's not going to be there with the blink of an eye. You're going to have to sit there one day, sit down and say, okay, what do we eat? What do we want to try to eat? And what do we need to make those things at home? But you do it once, it's there forever. And you can just keep adding to it quickly. And whenever you have a free chance, it's always in your phone or it's always on a desktop to add to, alter, change, and review. So yeah, and does that save us time? Oh, hell yeah, it does. It saves us time and it saves us money. So yeah, I don't know, it makes my life so much better. I don't know what I would do without this method right now. Like, I've been doing it for so long. We never have that argument about like who's gonna cook and what are we even eating tonight? Like, what's the, what was the problem? Now we pre-plan date nights out. Like, if we're okay, we do want to go out this Saturday, so we're not going to get a Saturday night meal, etc. We're pre-planning our week. We're taking that time while we're meal planning for the week, making our grocery list. We're saying, oh, look, we have an event. We do have an event in our calendar, so we're getting dinner with friends on Friday. We're not going to need to get a Friday meal. Now, hey, another quick tip before I go for groceries. Hey, sometimes we do get sick. Sometimes we don't feel like cooking. Or sometimes we just have a friend over and we don't want to make like a really weird big meal that we eat, but maybe they don't want to eat. So we do have a freezer and a little mini pantry. We have emergency ramen and we have emergency frozen pizza. Quick, easy, much cheaper than DoorDashing Taco Bell. Okay. Just throw that frozen pizza in the oven instead of DoorDashing Taco Bell. Hope you didn't click on this video thinking how to schedule your business meetings, because that's not really something that helps me. But these are all the things that really did help me. General life tips now. So we went through our groceries and we went through the event calendar. And this is not all at once. I think we did the grocery thing first and then the calendar app. And once all that was so settled, I found myself with more free time. I actually started waking up earlier. And I know what you're saying. Caitlin, the manosphere says wake up earlier. Why are you saying this too? Well, it did work for me, but let me tell you why. I struggled so much through college, high school, because I just could not stay awake. I went through college. I would chug double shot espressos and pay for them every day and just still fall asleep. I will literally like slap myself awake in the bathroom in my college classes. and still be tired. Okay. And I was like, God, what is it? What do I have? Narcolepsy? Like, what is the problem? And it didn't get better until I actually did before I went to work. Nothing worked for me until I started waking up earlier and going to bed earlier. So I got my 8 hours of sleep and I got to do things before I went to work. No, I'm not the kind of person that can just wake up, brush my teeth, put on some clothes, and run to work. My brain does not work that way. But what has helped me now is like, yeah, I have all this extra free time before work. I can do other things. No one's stopping me from going to the Y and doing a little workout class now. And now I'm wide awake and I go to work then. I can take my time making breakfast. I can take my time. I can catch up on a funny show before work, before my 9 to 5. You know, I can do a more creative activity right before work. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So if you have like this, my brain won't turn on feeling, it might just be time to give a 5 a.m. wake up a try, but you have to go to bed at like 9. That's also part of the thing, right? You have to go to bed on time. Okay, so that's a high priority. Sleep in my life, high priority. That is why you will not see me becoming a doctor, because I like to sleep. Okay, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Bye!